Stickgang, with Minecraft equipment, versus Satoru Gojo isn't even close. Jujutsu Kaisen universe and Alan Becker universe are two very relevant franchises in 2026. With Jujutsu Kaisen releasing the Culling games and its spin-off manga Jujutsu Kaisen Modulo, and with Alan Becker releasing a new season of Animator vs. Animation and new season of Animation vs. Minecraft, both gaining some major traction and lots of views on social media. But what if we pitted those two verses against each other? With this being a full breakdown of my newest edit and my first attempt at this style of video, so let me know what you think about it. But back into the fight scenario. Specifically, what if we put the one, the only, the honored one, Satoru Gojo versus our 5 beloved stick figure fighters. Red, blue, green, yellow, my personal favorite, and the strongest, weirdest, the one with an empty head, the quirkiest of them all, the second coming. And so, all of you don't think it will be just a normal battle of Gojos. Cursed energy and fighting skills against Stickgang's pure fists. The Stickgang will also have access to their Minecraft equipment from the Animation vs. Minecraft series. Who would actually win in a fight, or what is my reasoning for one side winning against the other, in my edit for those who hadn't watched it? Let's see. I'm sure many people would also want to know my scaling for the Alan Becker universe, so this video is also in big part for all of you. And I'm here today to explain that the fight scenario I'm about to present isn't close at all. But first, choose a side or watch my edit, to which link you can find in the description. Get comfortable and prepare yourself, as this video will likely divide many opinions and frustrate many fans of one of the series. First, I'm going to scale Satoru Gojo, as I'm experienced and familiar with Alan Becker scaling, and want to save it as a final cherry on top for this video. And everyone is pretty familiar with Gojo's scaling, but I still have to do it. Firstly, not all of those feats are performed by Gojo himself, but due to his reputation as the strongest, it's pretty reasonable to scale him to those feats. On the low end, Gojo scales above characters such as Mekamuru, Ryumen Sukuna's second finger bearer, Naoya Zenin, and Mahito, who all can produce city block to city block plus levels of power. Gojo also upscales from feats such as Jogo melting a city block, Sukuna splitting a cloud, Urame creating a large ice structure, Jogo's meteor attacks, he himself creating an earthquake, which would put him at small town to large town plus levels of power, and considering Sukuna's city level divine flame, blowing up Shibuya, scaling even higher. For the higher ends, Gojo is stated to be able to power the United States with his energy. We don't know for how long Gojo could do it, but it's widely accepted that this would rank him at around island level, with him possibly scaling all the way up to large planet level, because as the strongest sorcerer, argument can be made for him upscaling Yuki's black hole creation feat. However, using this same argument of being the strongest sorcerer, Gojo can at best be scaled to Yorozu's true sphere, which is stated to generate infinite pressure, possibly upscaling Gojo to high universal level. For the speed part, Gojo is stated to be the fastest sorcerer, upscaling from Takaba's I-Bomb deflection speed, which was calced as a high hypersonic speed feat. With Gojo surpassing this level of speed, and through his fights with Ryumen Sukuna, he should reach relativistic speeds. Arguments can be made for him possibly reaching faster than light speeds, but those are highly unlikely, as in the new Jujutsu Kaisen spin-off manga, Dabura traveling at near light speeds is presented as something far above from the original series. Now for the moment, all the Jujutsu Kaisen fans have been waiting the most for abilities. Satoru Gojo is widely known for his abilities. For starters, he has some pretty good regeneration, can fly, walk on water, possesses enhanced senses, and has phenomenal stamina, due to his 6 eyes. Of course, I won't talk about all of his abilities, so let's skip into his 2 most well-known abilities, with the first of them being his domain expansion. Unlimited Void. Unlimited Void overloads its victim with too much information at once, frying their brain and rendering them unable to fight. This on its own is a very overpowered technique, but His most overpowered and well-known technique is of course his Infinity. Infinity is something that exists around everything and everyone. Gojo just manifests it into reality. Infinity creates an invisible barrier to protect Satoru Gojo from danger. It works by cutting his enemy's attack speed in half over and over again, slowing it down so that it never poses a danger. However, it is a passive ability to some extent, but Gojo's 6 eyes still have to be able to perceive an incoming attack for Infinity to know that it should work against this attack. With Gojo's part out of the way, how do the 5 brave stick figures compare against him? Well, let's see. But first, we should clarify what Minecraft equipment does the Stickgang get exactly. Well, Green would get his note block staff from the note block concert episode, Red would get his netherite block staff from his fight against King Orange, Blue at the beginning of the fight would already be affected by all of his strongest potions, Yellow would be given his command block staff from after King Orange's defeat, and the second coming will be given a Minecraft game icon. Now against those lower scales for Gojo, the Stickgang can take hits from this version of Gojo pretty easily as they are capable of. Surviving a skeleton which flew around the entire Minecraft world which was calloused at town to large town levels of power. Scaling above Hazard, who's shown to have the access to a nuke attack which he's not hesitant to use even just as a simple power demonstration, with theme upscaling Hazard, granting them town to large town levels of power, and Green is capable of creating a note tornado using his note block staff, which was calloused at small city level. For those higher ends, we will need to focus on the second coming and his Minecraft icon. With the Minecraft icon, the second coming should scale to around the level of Herobrine. Herobrine is a character which could destroy around 100 blocks of bedrock with a single kick, which is calloused at around city level in power. It's important, as a base purple whose relative to other Stickgang members was hurt, but could still survive an attack from King Orange with one icon which was calloused at about large building level, showing that Herobrine would be about 10 million times stronger than a base purple. And with the second coming being relative to Herobrine, who should be this much stronger than a base purple, so also another base Stickgang member, if we plug the 10 million we got to the large town level of power Stickgang scales to do to Hazard, Herobrine and the second coming would reach large island levels of power. The second coming with one icon was also shown extremely relative to King Orange with one icon, who was capable, just like Yuki, of creating a black hole which gets into those large planet levels of power. However, for the possible high universal scaling for Gojo, there's nothing the Stickgang can do. Joking, obviously. Returning back into this bedrock-destroying feat. From King Orange's Minecraft Mysteries book, we get that command block, which has the same statistics as bedrock, has infinite hardness and blast resistance, giving it infinite durability, meaning its destruction requires infinite power. So high universal level of power, which Herobrine was able to deliver, to which level of power the second coming scales to. However, that's not all. With the second coming being extremely relative to King Orange, he should scale to the fact that King Orange with his black hole was going to destroy at the very, very, very least 2 universes, which would rank both of them at a low multiversal level of power. For the speed part of the scaling, the Stickgang have a large variety of sub-relativistic to relativistic reaction and combat speed feats, which would already put them close to Gojo's level. However, they have much more concrete and non-contradictory faster than light speed feats than Gojo, putting them in as their base self already far above Gojo's showings, with there possibly being a calculation which could theoretically get them all the way to massively faster than light plus speeds. Now for the most entertaining and interesting part of the scaling, abilities. Part which can be easily looked over, thinking that those fighting stick figures surely don't have any good abilities up their sleeves. For starters, Green with his note block staff can create note hurricanes, which can be a very dangerous obstacle for his enemies and can stop his enemies in place whilst attacking them. With note attacks, Red with his netherite, block staff is much more straightforward. He's just pure and brute strength. Blue with his many potions would have his general statistics increased, such as strength, which would be roughly increased sevenfold, and his speed being 3 times higher than regular, but that's not all. As he has access to his potions, he would also be able to give those same buffs to his allies, and be able to decrease Satoru's statistics on the same margin of effect as he can buff himself. But even after all this, he has access to transmutation potions, which are capable of turning someone into a Minecraft creature like a bat, or turn them into a Minecraft block such as an ordinary dirt block. Yellow is a big step up from all of them, as he's capable of using every Minecraft command due to his command block staff. This gives him the ability to buff himself and his friends even further than Blue can, and to buff Gojo to an also bigger extent than Blue could. Yellow can also give Gojo other status effects from Minecraft, as well as create a protective shield around himself, create a prison for Gojo, or send him far, far away, using abilities of other Minecraft blocks. Now, the second coming with the Minecraft game icon, he should be capable of performing all of those feats, as the Minecraft icon is the most powerful and supreme item in all of Minecraft, as well as having the abilities of all other blocks. This icon also grants Orange Creative Mode, drastically upscaling all of his physical statistics, such as strength, durability, or speed, and on top of that, it also grants him infinite stamina, meaning he will never get tired. So looking at our contenders, who would actually win? Satoru Gojo, the strongest sorcerer and the honored one, or the Stickgang, saviors of Minecraft and friends of animations? Looking at their powers, stats, abilities, and skill, we can easily say that the Stickgang has this win in the bag, and that they are far superior to the strongest sorcerer of Jujutsu Kaisen. Without any additional amplifications to their stats, every Stickgang member is superior in raw power to normal ends of Gojo's power. And looking at his island to even high universal levels of power, the second coming with his Minecraft game icon easily scales too. And even above such levels of power without much effort. That's why they get the raw power over Satoru Gojo. Everyone from the Stickgang is also far superior in speed to Gojo, even without looking at their higher, massively faster than light plus speeds, nor looking at the fact they could amplify their own speed even further using the command block staff, or Blue's potions, by which he would already be amped at the beginning of the fight. But to give something to Gojo, I have to admit that he's an overly superior fighter, especially when taking into consideration his much bigger fighting experience. However, once again, we come back to Stickgang's supremacy in the abilities category, as neither Gojo's Infinity nor Unlimited Void would work against the Stickgang, as he won't have enough time to use his domain expansion, and his 6 eyes won't be able to target any of the Stickgang members to activate Infinity against them. And even if his 6 eyes somehow manage to activate Infinity against the Color Gang, Yellow would still be able to bypass it, as the commands from the command block staff travel at infinite speed, meaning that no matter how often Infinity would slash their speed in half, the speed of the commands traveling would still be infinite, as Infinity divided by any integer is still Infinity. And even outside of it, not all of Yellow's commands have to work through the commands going to Satoru, as many of them can just work without the signal even going off from the staff. And I also heard arguments that Gojo's Infinity doesn't work against non-physical attacks such as commands, but I don't know how true that is. So, the winners are red, green, blue, yellow, and the second coming, also known as the Stickgang, and their fight against Satoru Gojo isn't even close. But what do you think? Do you think there's any chance of Gojo somehow winning the fight? Or that the fight would be closer? You can comment, and I'll try responding to your explanation.